Welcome to the Forensic Neuropsychiatric Developmental Analysis of Robert Hanssen. This presentation, authored by Mohan, Nair, Arturo Silva, Elizabeth Hawes, and Russell Smith, was presented at AAFS 2005. We will explore the psychological and developmental aspects of Hanssen's life and actions. Robert Hanssen, a former FBI counterintelligence agent, pleaded guilty to espionage on July 6, 2001. His 20-year history of spying for the Soviet Union and Russia was a significant betrayal of national security. Despite his actions, Hanssen was known as a devout family man and a member of Opus Dei. Hanssen was often described as aloof and a loner, with a peculiar fantasy life. Diagnoses such as antisocial personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder were considered, but none were conclusive. The analysis suggests Asperger's syndrome as a potential explanation for his behavior. Pervasive developmental disorders, PDD, are characterized by severe impairments in social communication and stereotyped behaviors. PDD includes autism, Asperger syndrome, and PDD-NOS. These characteristics may provide insight into Hanssen's actions and personality. Hanssen, the only child of a police officer and housewife, showed no evidence of abuse and was academically gifted. He pursued various careers, including cryptography and accounting, before joining the FBI. His skills as a computer hacker were highly regarded. The DSM-4 criteria for Asperger's disorder include impairments in social interaction and restricted patterns of behavior. Hanssen exhibited several of these traits, such as difficulty in social interactions and a preoccupation with specific interests. Further criteria for Asperger's disorder include significant impairments in social and occupational functioning, with no general delay in language or cognitive development. Hanssen's case aligns with these criteria, providing a framework for understanding his behavior. Hanssen's social impairments were evident from childhood. He was described as extraordinarily quiet and awkward, with a melancholic demeanor. His interactions were limited, and he often appeared detached, contributing to his isolated lifestyle. Hanssen showed marked impairment in nonverbal communication, such as eye contact and facial expressions. His body posture and gestures were often awkward, further isolating him from social interactions and contributing to his perceived aloofness. Hanssen struggled to develop peer relationships, having few friends throughout his life. He was often seen as an outsider, with no close friends at work or church. This social isolation may have influenced his actions and decisions. Hanssen lacked spontaneous sharing, often keeping to himself. He did not engage in social activities and preferred solitude, even in social settings. This behavior further highlights his difficulties in forming meaningful connections. Hanssen exhibited a lack of social-emotional reciprocity, often ignoring others and not sharing in their excitement. This detachment was evident from childhood and continued into adulthood, affecting his interpersonal relationships. Hanssen's interests were restricted and repetitive, with a focus on espionage and related activities. His preoccupation with these topics was intense, reflecting a pattern of behavior consistent with Asperger's syndrome. Hanssen had inflexible routines and rituals, such as wearing the same attire daily and maintaining strict communication habits. These behaviors indicate a need for structure and predictability, common in individuals with Asperger's syndrome. Hanssen's persistent preoccupation with parts of objects extended to his interests in voyeurism and pornography. These behaviors reflect a deeper psychological complexity and contribute to understanding his actions. Associated features of autism spectrum disorder include psychological compartmentalization and savant skills. Hanssen's ability to compartmentalize his life and his exceptional skills in certain areas align with these features. Hanssen's life was marked by psychological compartmentalization. He balanced roles as an FBI agent, devout Catholic, and KGB spy. This ability to separate different aspects of his life is a key feature of his psychological profile. Hanssen's religious devotion was intense, joining Opus Dei and attending church daily. His strong beliefs influenced his actions and interactions, often leading to conflicts with colleagues and contributing to his complex personality. Despite his espionage activities, Hanssen was a dedicated family man. He prioritized family time and expressed deep affection for his wife, highlighting the duality of his character and the compartmentalization of his personal and professional lives. This presentation continues the forensic neuropsychiatric developmental analysis of spy Robert Hanssen. It is authored by Mohan Nair, MD, Arturo Silva, MD, Elizabeth Hawes, MS, and Russell Smith, BS, presented at AAFS 2005. Hanssen was an ultra-conservative, described as a flag-flying patriot. His son interned at the Heritage Foundation and campaigned for G.W. Bush. Hanssen's conservatism and religious fervor were sincere, not a cover for his espionage activities. Hanssen, known as James Bond or Machine Gun Bob, was passionate about the FBI. He excelled at the academy and was highly regarded. He was in a unique intelligence position, with fewer than 30 people in the U.S. having similar access. Hanssen had an early obsession with Kim Philby and was a dedicated Soviet spy. He was the KGB's most valuable asset, loyal to the point of risking everything, including facing the death penalty. He saw himself as an academic spy. Hanssen exhibited sexual deviance, with compulsive behaviors since his teens. His pornography had an obsessive, fetishistic quality involving voyeurism and exhibitionism. He posted his writings online, reflecting deep-seated issues. Hanssen was assessed using the Nair psychopathy checklist. He scored 19 to 21, below the psychopathy cutoff, but his Factor 1 score placed him in the 85.8 to 92.5 percentile, indicating significant psychopathic traits. Hanssen may have experienced episodic psychotic-like symptoms, including delusions and hallucinations. ASD may appear psychotic due to mannerisms and speech, overlapping with other disorders, leading to potential misdiagnosis. Hanssen's savant skills suggest ASD, with bottom-up processing dominance. Admired for his intelligence, he had a photographic memory and perfect recall. He managed social situations with preset stories and conversations. Hanssen's motivations for spying are complex. While he fits a classic profile, he did not align with known spy patterns. This uniqueness adds depth to understanding his actions and psychological profile. Various theories attempt to explain Hanssen's motivations, including child abuse syndrome, multiple personality disorder, and a desire to be the greatest spy. Financial gain and personal vendettas also played roles. Explanations for Hanssen's actions often rely on traumatic neuroses theories. These lack specificity and can justify any misdeed. Our hypotheses aim to explain his betrayal and compartmentalized life aspects. Indicators of ASD in Hanssen's life include savant skills and compartmentalization. His photographic memory aided his success, but his inability to form empathetic relationships led to an obsessive sexual life. Hanssen's extreme systematizing, characteristic of ASD, fueled his obsession with clandestine work. His FBI role was a complex puzzle, and spying for the Soviets added another layer of excitement. Hanssen's lack of empathy hindered his ability to appreciate the consequences of his actions. His intense preoccupation with tasks affected his ability to stay connected with the human impact of his deeds. This diagram compares brain connectivity in autism and control groups. The autism group shows underconnectivity, particularly in the working memory network, highlighting differences in brain function. Hanssen's behaviors may have been driven by just right perceptions and incompleteness phenomena. These involve a sense of imperfection and are linked to conditions like Tourette's and OCD, sharing symptoms with ASD. Hanssen's life was a balance of extremes. The excitement of working for the FBI was countered by spying for the Russians. His deviant sexual pursuits were balanced by intense religious piety, reflecting complex dualities. Could Hanssen have been identified earlier? The intelligence community faces challenges in detecting traitors who don't fit the mold. Modern espionage may attract individuals on the autistic spectrum, complicating detection. Potential stressors and triggers in Hanssen's life include superego lacunae, his father's infidelity, and influences from figures like J. Edgar Hoover. These factors may have contributed to his complex psychological profile.